What up, what up? My name is Ronnie Ferreira, and I am the captain of Comet Me Bro, the first ever champions of MSS Reindeer Games. You're watching Let Freedom Ring with Dan Bollier, the #1 podcast in Southern New Hampshire. Enjoy!
And welcome to episode 13 of Ringing Free Thoughts. I'm Dan, you're Scott. Scott, how the hell are you?
I'm excellent, my friend. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
Yeah. Sick of seeing that guy there. That guy. We gotta get a new intro or something. We need to talk to the marketing team and
I do need a new intro. As you've
mm.
probably seen, I haven't been filming in studio over the last 3 weeks.
COVID restrictions.
No, I'm not on hiatus. Let Freedom Ring's not on hiatus. It's just kind of like it's the summer time-ish, and I would miss a lot of games to film the show, and booking guests on a weekly basis. It runs its course. It's hard, and I've been doing it for 4 years consistently every week. And I just thought, maybe I deserve to take a slight,
take an off season. Yeah, that's revamp, revitalize the show, come back strong.
Yeah, it's just it gets to be a lot, or if you're ready to do a show and someone cancels or whatever. So I think it's just a nice little let's not put Let Freedom Ring on hiatus. Let's just slow down pumping out episodes here.
And you got games on Thursdays? You got Thursday softball, yeah?
I've been playing on Thursday for damn near 15 years probably, so so yeah. Or maybe I've been playing a long time. But how you been?
Yeah. Good, man. Good. Beautiful weather today. I feel like I'm always talking about the weather. I can't get enough, I can't get enough of the fresh air, man. Good. I doubt it'll be an issue, but the missus is again away.
Is she at Fenway Park right now?
Yeah, they're at the Sox game. Yeah, her and her it's a good word for it, motley crew of friends. Yep, they're at the Sox game. They had bought tickets, and then I guess Megan's boss hooked her up with even better seats. So
really?
they're in like parking there. They're living the life. Am I like glitching? Am I delayed right now? Because I got a little bit of a.
I'm not seeing that.
No,
I'm not seeing that.
Well,
you just said like an Undertaker like thing, but it hasn't been that noticeable. No.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm a little behind, right?
No, not really. I'm not seeing that. I also want to point out, and we say this because we're a bi-weekly show, so I don't say this every week, but if you want to comment, do it on the Let Freedom Ring page or do it on the YouTube channel. Don't comment on my personal page because I can't see it. And then I don't want to hear, Dan, you ignored my comment. I didn't. I can't see it.
You might have.
I don't make the rules here. But let's get into this. We do this every week. We're now
I'm liking this gimmick. This is a fun new gimmick.
Episode 13. What are some, famous 13s to think of? I think the go-to here is probably this guy, Dan Marino.
Didn't even think of Marino.
That damn Dan Marino.
Only 2 come to mind for me. The first is Odell Beckham Jr.
He's
the
13.
Giants. He was 13. I feel like he was just 3 everywhere else, but that Giants 13 jersey, and then A-Rod on the Yankees, I believe.
A-Rod.
That popped out too. Yeah, but besides that, like, I got nothing for 13s.
I could not think of anybody but Marino. I couldn't think of anybody outside of Dan Marino. I mean, what a handsome man, huh?
He's a looker. Yeah.
Dude,
he looks like a dad too,
He's probably like 25 in that picture, but like You gotta hand it to him.
Isn't it crazy how like back in the day, like a young guy like that, 25, 26, 27, whatever he was, the guy looks like he's 42, like
I think we look
they
younger
just
there.
looked older back in the day.
Or maybe that's just how our brains are shaped because we were young and they looked
Mhm.
old or
We were young.
but you gotta give it to him, not only on the football field, but like he's a big piece of why Ace Ventura was so damn funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
That
was. He
it was
certainly
that
was.
damn Dan Marino.
Laces out, Dan.
Places out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only one that came to
You couldn't
mind.
think of anybody else? Yeah, no, no.
Is there another football player?
There's gotta be. You don't have
No,
you didn't come prepped with a list or
I did
nothing.
not.
Let's
I wanted to see what
let
would
me
come
pop up
off
the
of
Google
this is
Google
ringing
machine.
free thoughts, not bringing free list.
13 number sports jerseys. All right, 15 seconds here. I misspelled jerseys. Will Chamberlain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't grow up watching him, so it doesn't.
Okay, another quarterback. Kurt Warner. Would have thought of
Warner.
that if I sat
Okay.
down. James Harden.
The old
Uh,
James Harden.
OBJ, like I said. Yeah, but that's really it. Paul George, Omar Vizquel,
Okay. Yeah,
Joaquin Noah.
Joaquin. Okay, I know Joaquin Noah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of basketball,
Mm.
the Boston Celtics are back in the NBA Finals. They were there 2 years ago. Before that, it had been a decade, right? About a decade. No, more than a decade.
I feel like didn't they get back in there at one point? Maybe I don't know, man. I'm not.
2010 might have been the last time that they got there, but they are now back. And I have to say, like, I am not. I'm so excited for them to be in the finals, right? I am just not like an NBA diehard fan,
Man.
diehard Celtics
Yeah.
fan, like I had been in years prior.
Yep.
I don't know if that's just getting older or whatnot, but like I didn't watch a lot of the games. I did watch the last one, but I'm just I don't know. I don't know.
Sort of
I
the
don't.
same here. Basketball was never really my thing. I tune in every now and then. I feel like we had it then on all the time in college at the apartment, just because
If you
that
live
was
with
just
Corey Walker, you're gonna be watching a lot of NBA.
what we had. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely tune in for a finals game or two. We'll see how they go. But yeah, I feel like they've just been talking about this team for years and years and years, and I feel like it's like put up or shut up time, right?
Yeah, and it sounds like Brad Stevens is doing a better job in his role now than he did as the coach.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty cool that they're back. It's not the big three feel or anything like that.
That was the time. I will say, that was like Kevin Garnett. For some reason, I actually have a little figurine up top on a shelf up there. He was always my favorite basketball player, even before he was on the Celtics. And I feel like watching the Big Three, that was huge back in the day.
Yeah.
But
Garnett was so like, let's go, like he was
intensity. I loved it. Yeah.
Those were good times. I'm really excited. I mean, the storylines there. Kyrie Irving plays for Dallas now.
How many teams has Kyrie played on? I feel like,
dude, he's just not a guy that a lot of people, and because I remember when Kyrie wanted to leave Cleveland, and they said, "Oh, it's LeBron.
It's Boston for a bit.
It's LeBron. That's where he went."
Yeah.
And I said, anybody that's like has an issue with the star player like that, he might be the problem.
Right.
And I remember saying that people were like, no, it's always LeBron. It's always LeBron. LeBron does everything wrong. Blah, 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 blah.
I mean, he is sort of the B word, though, right?
I just think that Kyrie Irving not lasting on the Celtics didn't surprise me at all because he'd already wanted to jump from another team because he didn't like who he was playing with, even though they won a championship.
I thought he played for a lot more teams. He's only played for the Cavs, the Nets, and the Celtics. That doesn't seem right. And the Mavs.
It does.
Huh. I felt like he played for a lot more teams.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's played for a lot of teams. I feel like Kevin Durant's been all
probably
over the place.
probably four teams. Durant's probably
the Durantula.
Are you going to count Seattle and the Thunder, or are you going to count?
I don't think so.
So you got Thunder, Golden State, Suns.
Mhm.
Um,
I feel like this was a Kyrie team. He was on the Nets for 4 years
with Kyrie, yeah.
with Kyrie. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I see him playing on more than 4 teams too. Huh.
That was like he was so good and he jumped on the best team period.
Yeah. Like
You
Golden
know,
State team,
oh,
yeah.
we couldn't beat LeBron in the finals, so even though we had the best record all year, beat the record of the Bulls,
Mhm.
that Bulls team. So they went out and they got Kevin Durant,
Mm.
and now it's like it was a super
Late.
team, and then it became a very super team.
I can't imagine what it'd be like to be like him. That, you know, lanky, built like a giraffe like that. Like that's got to be
I mean, he is just very, very good.
bizarre. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Good at basketball, but stringy,
Yeah.
lanky. Mm.
So good luck to the Celtics. Hopefully
Yeah.
hopefully
When
that,
does that start? Does that start this week? I
I
mean, this
think it
weekend? Is
starts.
that next week?
I think it starts Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah. They got a little break.
So
Yeah.
I'll be tuning into that. Not, again, I'm just not. You're not going to catch me watching many Celtics or Bruins games or really even the Red Sox anymore.
Dude,
Like,
I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched a Red Sox game. I really can't. Even like the World Series years, the last, whatever. They were in a couple times the last half decade, right? I think.
they won in
Yeah.
2018. They were in the ALCS in 2021. But I just, yeah, I guess I'm not like I don't miss the Patriots. I don't miss the Free Jacks. It's the once a week sports for me these days, really.
I think it's the sign of the times and us growing up, and we got other responsibilities now. We don't have time to
I,
sit
you
down
know,
and watch every game.
I'd rather be at the softball field, to be quite
Mhm.
frank, than sitting in and watching sports. I mean, that's
I'd
just the
rather just go
truth.
to bed. I'd rather just go to bed and read a book.
Oh, geez. I mean, I wouldn't go that
Yeah.
far, but
I am old.
big news. I think everybody was excited about this. Angel Hernandez, the most
Mhm.
notorious umpire in the history of MLB, has abruptly retired from the game. Overdue or what?
Like, again, I'm not even a huge baseball guy, but even I know that Angel Hernandez is his worst ump ever. Like he's been involved in so many bizarre calls. Actually, what was that other ump? The chunkier white Caucasian fella.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, there was another guy that I feel like had a bunch of random weird calls every now and then. But yeah, and then this threw me off when I saw this because it is the middle of the season right now, right? Like,
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of jokes online that they're like, dude, he got offended how they said he was so bad, and I mean, who knows? I don't know. I don't even know how the MLB. I'm assuming that's a full time gig, not like the NFL, because the
right?
NFL
Yeah,
is once a week.
right.
But man, this guy is just notorious for being horrendous,
Right.
and I don't know how old he is, but maybe he just is like, yeah, I can't do this anymore.
Mm. Like,
And
how
thank
does the
God,
MLB let him continue like over the years
there
being so
all
bad like that, right? Like,
I don't know. There's a lot of accusations of prejudice and stuff like that that I know went on. But I don't know the details or
hmm,
I don't know.
hmm,
Who knows? I mean,
you don't have the inside scoop.
maybe he didn't do enough to get fired. Maybe there's a
Not quite egregious enough.
or he has a really good union. I don't know what their union is.
Mm,
But
gotta be pretty solid.
it doesn't sound like anybody's gonna miss him.
No, yeah,
You know,
yeah, and
but
yeah. I got a feeling that some people are quite happy about it.
yeah, I've only
The
seen
players, I would
celebrating.
think, right?
Yeah. Big news coming out. Can't really get around this. Donald Trump, former president, is been convicted of hush money. I guess it was. You tell me. Tell me a little bit.
Danny, like I was really hoping that you were going to run with this topic because I really don't even know either, and that's such a bad. I'm such a bad adult. I really am because I just have
Dude,
I have no idea. It's 34 counts of yeah. Is it money laundering? Is it
no, I
hush?
thought it was
Is it
hush money. I think it has to do with the Stormy Daniels thing. Still, we're still
34
talking about.
times? I mean, it's got to be a whole bunch of different stuff. I mean,
I,
yeah. I don't know, man. I
I,
stay
I,
out of the politics and the news game myself.
I'll
I don't
tell
know.
you this: after 2020,
Hmm.
I just said, I don't care anymore. I am so done.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I am so done with the news cycle. His administration was very wearing. Um, his base is very wearing, and you just get to a point where you're like, who cares?
Oh, it's just
Like,
hush money. Yeah, that's what it says. Just hush money.
I mean,
What
that
does that
doesn't
mean?
it doesn't surprise me. I mean, these guys, him and
Right?
guys like Vince McMahon, this is kind of what they do.
Mm,
Um, I guess that hush money maybe it was like campaign money.
I feel like it's probably more involved in the business side of his stuff.
Well,
Like I feel like campaign stuff would be.
I thought that was the whole issue in the first place. Was that I mean,
I don't know.
are you not allowed to pay someone? You know, you have all these NDAs and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you not
We need a
pay?
we need a political correspondent to
Yeah,
get on the show right now. We need somebody in the comments because
like I could say
man,
I love to pay attention to this stuff, but as the Trump administration went on, and you saw the division, and even this week, right? I mean, a Goodfellas fan page, and that became disastrous because Robert De Niro came out and was speaking out against Trump, and all these people, the Trump supporters, hijacked the page
mm,
of the movie Goodfellas to be angry about it, and it just gets to a point where it's so
De Niro's funny. De Niro's a funny guy. I like De
yeah,
Niro.
he was getting in people's faces. It was I saw the clip, and
You know what I always
you know,
think about? Just real quick sidebar, free thought on De Niro there. Have you seen the movie Neighbors? Seth Rogen what where the
Zach
chick?
Efron.
Yeah, they're living next door to the
I
frat
know
house.
of it. I know of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's this part where the frat they're having a Robert De Niro party, and everybody's dressed up like different De Niro characters, and the impressions are just absolutely hilarious. I just love that part of that movie. That's a funny underrated movie. I'll
I'll
say
have to check it out. I mean, but
that.
with this whole, it's been it was so exhausting by 2020. It was like I just can't, I can't do it
I'm
anymore.
over it all. I'm over it
It's
all.
we're arguing about a reality TV show host who won the presidency. Um, People either love him or they
Still
hate him.
crazy. It's still insane how that happened, huh? That really happened. Like we lived through that. That wasn't.
Well, we could be living through it again, but it's like, but who? It's like, it's gotten to the point where it's like, who cares? Because then Biden came in and was like, all right, this is just he's quiet. He's just quiet. He's not doing like
Yeah,
a better
yeah.
or worse job. It's
I think
still
it's all the same bull crap at the end of the day. No matter if it's one side in the office or the other side, I think they're all just twiddling each other, and nah, I don't believe in any of it.
yeah. And the president has only so much power, but like it gets so exhausting. And it's like people treat politics like it is the New England Patriots or it's the
Hmm.
Boston Red Sox. Or
Mm,
I'm like, our political system's not supposed to be like a sport, like sports teams.
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what
That's
I
coming from
mean?
you. I mean, back in the day, you back in college were a go get 'em Obama guy.
Well,
You were very into
life
it.
has worn me down to the point where, you know,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Ah,
I just don't, I was like that.
mhm.
Um, I
Mhm.
just don't see that, like, what benefit was I doing? What's
Exactly.
pushing my agenda onto other people doing? What's
Right.
arguing with people on Facebook actually doing? And
Exhausting everything. Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
like when I got sober, I kind of like my brain started to go like, this is dumb. There's no point
Mm,
to arguing with people,
mhm.
and it's just nonsense. You know,
Yep.
Do, and now I see things I say quiet. Like, you see he got the conviction, and all these people are like, the judge was a Biden supporter. It's like,
Oh,
okay, guys,
geez. All right. Calm
all
down.
right, this is just
Yeah.
and you get to a point where you're like, this isn't worth arguing. This is so
Yeah.
dumb.
It's just
And whatever. Like,
it's
what are
how I've
we?
always felt. It's how I've all. It's just both
Listen,
sides are gonna just say whatever they want to say, and it's just not worth anybody's time, in my
no, it's not.
opinion.
And to be quite frank, I think a great thing about America is people speaking their minds. That's what we do on this show. That's what we do on Let Freedom Ring.
Mm-hmm.
So I am totally down with whether you are if you are a Trump supporter, you are within your right to say whatever you want.
You know, fight for your
And
right to party.
you're allowed to have free thoughts. I don't have to agree with them, but it's who am I to tell you how to think?
I don't have to give a crap about him either. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
But-
just choose to just not like
Mhm.
whatever. If he goes to jail, he goes to jail. If he doesn't, he doesn't. If he wins the
Like
presidency,
that's not going to happen, right? Like there's no way that that's actually going to happen.
I would think not, but that would
Mhm.
be get the reality show cameras involved.
Yep.
Like if they could get them into the jail or whatever happens, that would be
Oh, I'd watch
That would
that.
be a
Let's
show.
go. Let's
that would be a
real
show.
world style
You know,
talking head interviews with Trump and his cellmates, or
like that. Obviously, he'd be put if that did happen, he'd be in like some kind of. You'd have to put him in some. I mean, that was
he
the
wouldn't really be in
president.
a real jail. Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could maybe get cameras in there. You could probably do that. You could have Prison
What
Apprentice.
network would have that on? That would be like
HBO.
okay, just go straight for the home box office. There we go.
HBO would,
Mm.
But I think you're right. I don't think he's gonna. I think something will happen on the appeal, and it will be dragged out. And
Like, what does that mean for like the upcoming election, though? Like, how does that work? Like,
I don't think it stops him. Netflix can make it happen.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Let's have. Has he ever been roasted? Let's do a.
Yeah, he's been roasted.
Was there a
That's the
Trump
thing
roast?
too. Before Donald Trump ran for president, he was very down with like having his balls broken. Like he did the roast, he did
Yeah, I bet he
SNL,
was.
and then when he won the election, he's like, "I'm not going to the correspondence dinner. They're not going to." And I was like,
Right.
"This isn't the same guy
The war
anymore."
on the
like-
media. Yeah, he was just
But that was his MO though. That's how he was so successful. Is like, why is he a celebrity in the first place? He waged war against the New York media in the 80s and made himself a star.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'll give it to the guy. He's a self-made mogul. Well, I mean, family-wise, I guess, but like, it's one of the biggest names of all time, and like in our generation, like I'll give it to him. But
I mean,
Jesus
when
Christ.
he's one of those guys, you just don't know what he's gonna say and when he's gonna say it. So like when he's on TV, you're like, well, what, especially when he was president, it's like, what is he gonna say? He
I
took
loved
on the
watching those
NFL.
tweets.
Yeah, he
I
did.
loved when he was on Twitter, and it was just because you could tell that he was sending those tweets out. Like a lot of the celebrities, a lot of the politicians, like the Joe Biden Twitter. It's not run by Joe Biden. He doesn't know what the hell Twitter
No.
even probably is, But Trump had that app on his phone, and he was sending that stuff out all the time, and I effing loved it. I will say that.
And the whole time it's like, is something gonna happen? Like, is he gonna? And it didn't happen. Nothing ever happened. Like when he threatened North Korea with a nuclear weapon, like I was like, okay, this is bad, but like nothing happened.
That though? That was tuned into the internet TV.
My button's bigger.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing that, being like, well, he's right, but like, I don't know.
Crazy effing times that 4 years was.
Yeah, I mean,
and then it all topped off with that freaking insurrection. Like people storming it. Like that really happened. That wasn't fake. That happened. That was crazy.
It is entertaining because those people will believe anything.
Sure.
That he says anything on QAnon.
I've never actually said that out loud, I don't think.
I mean, the conspiracy theorists and stuff like that, like it's like, holy crap, it's wildly entertaining.
Yeah.
Really I can't believe that they did that. And I know some people, some people did die, which was tragic.
People are still getting arrested. I see that stuff all the time. Like, is there still like pinpointing people on the camera footage, and they're finding people 4 years later?
Dude, that was mob mentality. Like, even imagine like you're a Trump supporter, right? And you're like, yeah, we're gonna storm the Capitol. Like, at no point were you like, is this a bad idea?
It's a horrible idea. Don't do that. Like,
should I do this?
Like, okay, sure, you can support the guy absolutely all day long. Again, support whoever you want to. Really, you're gonna march on the on the Capitol building of the United States of America and
Like,
not think that there's
what are you doing? What are we
There's
doing?
not gonna be any sort of freaking consequence
But that
because you
speaks
think
to
he's
like,
gonna pardon you or something. Like it's insane.
well, I think some of them did.
Yeah,
But I also think that that's like the mob mentality. It's like, well, that guy's doing it. That guy's doing it.
Sure.
I'm going to do it. And like we saw the footage of them walking around in the building. You're like, man,
What are we gonna do now?
no one in that group is saying like,
I have
wait,
no
what
idea.
are we doing?
It was like
It was live. It was a live
It
South
was.
Park
I
episode.
was
Yeah.
gonna say it was like Plymouth State when the Sox won the championship finally, and people are burning couches and setting things on fire.
Like,
Just to the
no,
extreme degree.
there had to have been people that are like, okay, this has gone too, like, I'm getting out of
Guys,
here.
stop doing that. Yeah, like you
You
shouldn't be
know,
doing this right now.
there was the footage of the guy he had his feet on like Nancy Pelosi's
Yeah.
desk, and like,
All right. Yeah.
and I'm just thinking like, what, like, what are you thinking? Like, you can't do that to any building. You can't do that.
No.
You're gonna do that on the
Yeah.
Capitol.
Yeah. Crazy
And
times. Crazy,
know,
crazy times. Again, support who you want to support. Believe what you want to believe. Fight for what's right, but don't storm the Capitol. Don't do that.
yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen now with this. I'm
Mhm.
surprised there hadn't been anything that's happened yet, but like,
Tune in again. This is must see TV again. Let's go.
even if like it's one of those things where like when you study like cults and stuff like that,
Mm,
and you see like, I know that I wouldn't put this as like a cult, but it has that mentality of,
yeah.
we will follow this guy to the end of the earth. And that is a lot of power to have.
Yeah.
And
Can you
because
imagine Obama supporters marching on the Trump Tower or something like that? I
no,
can't see that happening. I don't know.
no, it was a wild time, and it still exists. I mean,
Mm.
but it's like, no matter what he does, that there are people that have been like, okay, this has gone too far or whatever. But like the people that are like, it's always somebody else, it's not him, and there's always a reason. At that point, like, how many times do you have to contradict yourself before you start going like,
Like
maybe
like
I'm
the Ring Twitter
wrong?
stuff. Like it was right there. I don't know. I don't know. Just crazy times.
It is a South Park episode.
Yeah.
It is definitely a South Park episode. But
Yeah.
Gable Steveson, Olympic champion, he was signed with the WWE. He just left the WWE. Was signed by the Buffalo Bills.
Mm.
Any thoughts to this?
So mutual friend of ours, Brian Simons, had posted something about this earlier on the Facebook, and I just responded with the Kobe Bryant gif of him saying soft, just soft. Like this guy's just soft. Like, come on, you're gonna go to WWE, you can't even make it there. I don't think he's got any football experience ever. Like,
Stephen Neal didn't. He played for the Patriots for a long time. This guy's an Olympic gold medalist. He's a multi-time NCAA champion. He's an athlete. From what I heard, though, he wasn't picking up the wrestling.
Yeah, right.
Because you saw a guy like Kurt Angle who came in, and he had he had that style of pro wrestling that you're like, oh, this is
he had
so
the drive to do
cool.
it. Yeah.
Well, not just drive, but like he took his wrestling background and made it into a professional wrestling, and he had some of the best matches I've ever seen.
Now I'm thinking of Stephen Neal. What did Stephen Neal even play? Was he D line or was he
line? I think,
was he O line or was he a long snapper? Yeah. I didn't think of Stephen Neal. I'll give you that. But
I remember when the Patriots signed him, I was like, oh, he was a football guard.
I looked up Stephen Neal and it's the Pope or something. I don't know. That's definitely not the right Stephen Neal. I'll say that.
But I heard the Bills gave him like 3 years too.
Yeah, I would bet that he doesn't make the team. I don't know. Like I feel like it's just I don't know. Like I mean, obviously I played football in high school and junior high, right? Like I never played in college, I never played in the pros, obviously, but like I feel like that's just something that you can't just pick up like that. But he might be athletic enough to maybe do it, but I don't know. There's a lot more than just the athleticism. Like there's there's an intelligence. You got to learn how to play the game.
Well, we'll see what kind of athlete he really is. I mean, Brock Lesnar tried it. Brock was not an Olympic gold medalist. He was an NCAA champion.
Right?
Um,
Did Brock
I,
play football at Minnesota though, or was that?
no, I don't think he played
Who
in
am I
college.
thinking?
He probably played in high school. I don't know if Gable Stevenson ever
Goldberg
played.
played. Jeez, I can't.
Well, no,
I'm
no. Okay,
like
let's
17
not
there.
go there.
I'm just all over the place on
Yeah,
guys that
this,
played in the
this
NFL.
guy's a higher level
Yep.
athlete than Goldberg.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows? It was
Goldberg was a universal
interesting
champ. I don't see Gable
at
Stevenson.
52 years old. So
He did almost kill the Undertaker. Like that was legit, right? Like that could have.
no, the Undertaker. I thought Goldberg's the one that fell on his head.
I thought Goldberg botched a jackhammer on him.
Yeah, maybe.
Bobby, you watching? Yeah, what do you got?
Bobby, if you're in the comments,
yeah.
I did watch the match, but that was a couple years back.
They almost just kill each other. The two of them. Who knows?
Undertaker was visibly upset after the match.
Pulling a Bret Hart, right? Bret Hart's a big fan of Goldberg, from what I've seen on the.
Say it to my face, Bill Goldberg. Yeah, I wish him the best. I hope it works out. I think he'll probably just end up in the UFC like every, like.
I bet. I don't know. I bet it isn't gonna make the team. I bet he's a practice squad guy, and I bet he gets released. I bet he gets released before the beginning of the season. That's. Mark it down. We'll
screenshot this.
Screenshot this, Bad Larry. We will come back to it in a few months. First cut.
Okay. I don't know.
We'll
I want to talk about this because there's a Dark Side of the Ring special coming out on Who Killed WCW. I've been we covered Eric Bischoff last night on Wrestle Squabble. I've been obsessed with just the Monday Night Wars again and WCW. Do you recall much about WCW?
Yeah, I mean that's when I was like really watching wrestling. I've said it a few times. Like I was more of a WCW guy than a WWF guy back in the day because I feel like I started watching wrestling with WCW first, so I remember all that. I feel like I watched like the Shane McMahon on Nitro. I feel like I was watching that live when it happened, and it blew my mind. I feel like it.
I mean, now we know the merger happened. That's kind of why they went out of business.
Right.
But the creative there got really bad. Do you remember any bad things that you saw?
It's funny. I fell down like a Wikipedia hole a few weeks ago on like old WCW stuff. With like the Natural Born Thrillers, I think they were.
That was like at the end.
Random like Guido groups. Because who was that? Who was the writer there at that point?
Vince Russo.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
The Natural Born Thrillers started. He might have already been on his way out.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember just seeing all that sort of stuff. I feel like I got once they changed their whole look of it, when
in '99,
when the logo got to be like that, like sort of like 3-pointed logo, and
yes,
the stage changed. The Nitro Girls might have been gone at that point, but I think it was just, again, I'm a wrestling, I'm not a savant, or anything, but like I feel like they just put all their money on Goldberg, right? At the end, or that middle towards the end there.
They killed all Goldberg's momentum with the finger poke of doom. That was one of the, to me, that was the start.
Well, it was the cattle prod, right?
Well, he lost the match, and then Kevin Nash just took the finger poke, and Hogan pinned him.
Gave that to Hogan. Yeah.
And Goldberg was hurt, and then '99 happens, and things really just start not going well, and that's when Eric Bischoff is removed in September of that year. I
feel like when there was like 5 different NWOs going on, that was a lot.
Well, they revamped it numerous times, and '99 it just stopped quietly. I couldn't even.
Yeah.
I had to look it up. It was '99 when the first NWO, just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
I think because Hogan goes back to the red and the yellow in '99. And
oh
yeah, and that wasn't gonna catch fire.
I love the Wolfpack though. Conan. I loved Conan.
Well, they killed it, and they merged black and white and red and black together, and that was just so bad. But I really think the start of the end, and I watched this video on it, and I don't want to, because 98 WWF starts to come back, right? But I do think Starrcade 97 for me is the start of this company's disorganized.
Yeah.
Botching the finish between Sting and Hogan, which was built for over a year.
Loved Sting. I was a Sting.
And they messed up that finish. As a fan, I remember watching that. I didn't watch it live. I think I rented it from Blockbuster. Yes.
I got something to say in a sec.
And messing up that ending to that match after so long. That's bad.
The only pay-per-views that I ever watched, right? Because again, this was years and years and years ago. I never ordered them or nothing. Because at that point, they were like $60, $75 a pop. You know, they were
like 60, 50 or something. 60, yeah.
I used to watch them on like scrambled cable. Did you ever do that back in the day?
Yeah, if my parents would let me order it, I'd have to. I was that fan that had to know what was going on, but I didn't always do that with WCW. I did that a lot with WWF if I couldn't order it.
Yeah.
But
so I don't know. I mean, you tell me. You're the expert. You killed them, you know.
I think if you have to lay the blame at one person's feet, if you had to pick one person, it's the same person that made it successful. Is the same person that is kind of the reason that it got so out of hand.
Bischoff, then, right?
It's Bischoff. Bischoff is the reason they were successful.
Yep.
Made the right signings. He changed the product. He's also the reason that
No, let me ask you
guaranteed
something.
Contracts didn't help. You know.
Yep. Did the
or creative control?
I hope I have my history right. ECW, was ECW on the rise at that time, and was it almost like there was too many mouths to feed and the market was too, like did that factor in it all there?
You mean like Paul Heyman likes to say like the bubble burst was like it was like the .com industry. I don't know. I think when ECW became too big for what it was, a regional promotion that got too big, but really when anybody would get momentum in ECW and WWE or WCW would take them. And WCW would do that more than WWF because WWF had a working relationship with ECW. WCW would be like, ooh, look at Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit.
Oh, were those guys all ECW guys? I know.
Oh, yeah. Really? Raven.
But like I see all those guys, I feel like they were in WCW when I first started watching them. So like how far back does ECW go? Like I thought ECW was
well, it goes farther back, but 94 is when it became Extreme Championship Wrestling. And it I would say for the third tier promotion, it grew bigger than what it really should have been because it was really just a local promotion to Philadelphia. Sure. It was Eastern Championship Wrestling. And then they got Paul Heyman, who'd already been to WCW. He was big time, and he ends up becoming the owner. But
I had no idea that he was like he was Austin's manager in WCW. I think I saw on a random
the Dangerous Alliance. The Dangerous Alliance. Yeah.
No idea.
I think what really killed it was you had guaranteed money. People didn't really have to work if they didn't want to. They could say they were hurt. You had creative
control. Isn't that kind of what AEW does nowadays? Guaranteed money or no? Am I wrong? No?
Probably. I think both do somewhat guarantees. No. That was never a thing in wrestling before that. Ted Turner had the deep pockets. But I would say not. Bischoff said in interviews like, I would get to the arena and not even sure what was going to happen on the show.
Really?
And when you do stuff like that, it's only a matter of time before you run out of, the NWO was so hot. And when you also have to create new stars every year. Like you have to, you can focus on your main event being the older guys, but at some point you had Jericho before he went to WWF. You had Guerrero. Right. They started really pushing Chris Benoit, but towards the end, and he went out the door. besides Goldberg, DDP, and Sting
Those
was
are all
already a main
cruiserweight
eventer.
guys, too. Those are all little guys.
Well, yeah, but then Jericho went to WWF and they treated him like a big deal
Blew up.
right
Yeah.
away.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so the Giant was another one that they kind of made, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, the disorganization, like that's what the fear with AEW is like when you're disorganized, it starts to bleed onto television. Because when you're coming up with stuff on the fly, yeah, you can't do
It's
the
gotta be
whole
tough,
show.
man. It's gotta be tough, man.
You know. So I think the bubble burst, but I think Eric Bischoff's leadership over time, he wanted to be their friend and not Scott Hall
Is he
said
involved in anything nowadays? Is he in like TNA or anything, or is he just?
he has a podcast,
He's
83
Dunzo?
weeks.
Oh,
Yeah, 83 weeks, which is how many weeks in a row WCW beat WWF in the ratings.
Let go, man. Like, give it up.
Yeah, well, he's the only one to ever give Vince McMahon a run for his money.
Sure.
No one's ever come close to doing that. He's the only one.
Yeah.
Since he bought it. So because Vince's dad, WWF was not like it was a regional. It was
right. Yeah.
So I don't know. It should be interesting, but yeah, I do. I would have to unfortunately say Eric Bischoff.
Mr. Bischoff himself. All right, there you go. I'll take your word for it.
We played a little game this week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think, we talked about this. Obviously, Hulk Hogan, if you don't know anything about wrestling, you know that Hulk Hogan is, wrestling is the thing Hulk Hogan does. But what is Ric Flair's popularity? Because he's had a lot of stuff on ESPN and a lot of documentaries made on him. So Scott asked his mom if she knew who Ric Flair was.
I did. I'm trying to pull it up here.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I screenshotted it and sent it to you, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, she had no idea who Ric Flair, and I called it. I mean, I don't know what episode it was, whether it was a couple episodes ago. Obviously it was, but like, I said that Ric Flair isn't. Here
Let
it
me
is.
find what my mom said.
No, who is it? Who is that? I just Googled him. Just a wrestler, just wondering for science. Let's move on, Ma. I called it. I knew she wouldn't know who Ric Flair was. I said that she might know who The Undertaker was. I said she definitely know who John Cena was, which confirmed.
My mom did know who Ric Flair was.
I don't think that counts. Like, I don't think Mary Ellen counts. Like, you can't just ask Mary Ellen wrestling people because she was in your house, Dan. Like, you guys, that's what you guys lived and breathed your entire lives. Like,
so I said, question for you. Do you know who Ric Flair is? She said, I do remember him. I said, who is he though? She said, a WWF wrestler. So she didn't say WCW. She's a WWF wrestler. I said, thank you. And she said, I remember watching with you and your you and your brothers. He always does the woo.
He did the woo thing. She knew exactly who it was because she had to. You guys probably had that on the TV all day long. Like,
it's possible.
You guys probably had wrestling action figures for Christmas, or the big stuffed wrestlers or whatever. Like, she bought those, like.
I mean, yeah, I did have some, Ric Flair figures and stuff, but it does prove that people do know, he's not Hogan. I'm not claiming that.
Proves that your mom knows. We should go out on the street and ask random people if we really want to.
We should take the
get the
camera
vibe,
and get out there. I think that you'd be surprised. I think a lot of people.
But I mean, if we want to keep asking our moms about wrestlers, like,
we should do that.
Who's up next?
Well, I gotta say though, but you gotta give Ric Flair this. He has that song called the Ric Flair Drip. You ever heard that? Ric Flair Drip. He is in all these locker rooms in the NFL. He shows up. I think, Michigan or one of the colleges always invites him. I feel like Ric Flair is pretty well known, but not the
most campus.
Yeah.
Sorority, just jumping from sorority to sorority, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad for Rick. He's,
So again, my mom knew who John Cena was.
Okay.
All right. I feel like she might know The Undertaker. She would definitely know who Hulk Hogan is. I mean, who doesn't know who Hulk Hogan is? But like, I'm trying to find that middle ground. Like, would my mom know who Stone Cold is?
Would she know who
She would know who The Rock is 100%.
Okay. It's another Randy Orton, probably not.
No, she'd have no idea who Randy Orton is now. Guarantee.
Who's another bigger name?
Like my mom would probably know Chris Benoit just because of the tragedy with Chris Benoit,
Yes.
right? But like, she
What
wouldn't know who
about
Dean Malenko is.
what about Macho Man Randy Savage?
My mom would, yeah, 100%. I mean, Macho Man, Slim Jims. I mean, everybody knows
Everybody.
Macho Man Randy Savage, right?
What about Roddy Piper?
Yeah, I think Roddy Piper was a cultural sort of thing. I think there's that fine line between having that cultural image, like
But I think
Jake
Ric
the
Flair
Snake.
has that.
Would my mom know Jake the Snake? I don't know. Maybe like that name resonates.
I think a lot of people knew Jake the Snake because he was the only wrestler to come out with a snake.
Right.
You
Right.
know. So
My mom
I
wouldn't
do
know who
think
Bill Goldberg is, but Bret the Hitman Hart, maybe.
yeah, but I think if you know who Bret Hart is, you know who Ric Flair is.
I don't know.
Did you spell it R-I-C-K when you sent it?
No, I spelled it correctly. I spelled.
Okay. 'Cause maybe
My
that
mom
could
has
have
met
thrown.
Triple H, so we can rule out Triple H. We could rule out China too, because they used to go into the D'Angelos all the time next to
Really?
Gold's Gym. Oh yeah. She used to
Okay.
feed them steak and cheeses all the time. My mom worked at D'Angelo's for ages. Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to work at the Gold's Gym down the street. Yeah.
Yes. He
Mm-hmm.
did. That's actually how he. There's a lot of claim. Tony Roy, you may have heard of.
No. Tony
Okay, so
Romo?
Tony Roy is from Nashua, New Hampshire, and he trained with Kowalski. He did Leo Connor's show, and he talked about he was enhancement talent jobber. If you go back, you can see Tony Roy wrestled Owen Hart. He wrestled Bret Hart. He wrestled The Rock. He was a enhancement talent for WWF for like a decade.
I wonder if my mom would know who Owen Hart is just because of what happened with
Yeah.
Owen Hart. I don't know. That's this fine line. I don't know.
Well, the only reason I bring up Tony Roy is because his claim was that he got Triple H to the wrestling school because Triple H was like a manager at that gym.
Was
and he
he?
said,
Yeah, okay.
and he talked. Now Triple H has never said this in interviews, so I've never heard Triple H reference Tony Roy. But Tony Roy is 100% from Nashua.
Yeah.
He said that he went
Tony
up to
Roy
him.
an African American by any chance?
No.
Am I thinking? No.
No, he had like long hair. He was like definitely
Black
would
guys
just
can have
go
long
in.
hair.
Yeah, he would just go in and get his butt kicked.
Okay.
And from what he said too was that when Kowalski had a deal with the WWF to bring in these jobbers to wrestle on like superstars and stuff when they're in the area, he said I think he said he had maybe one match, and they wanted guys that had like 15 or 16 matches, and Kowalski would be like, yeah, he's had that, and just send him to go wrestle, beat up by Randy Savage or like whoever, So
I just don't. There's this just fine line. Like, she even know Jesse the Body Ventura just because of who Jesse the Body Ventura is.
Well, he was the governor.
Would she know Chris Jericho? Probably not. I don't know. Like, it's a fun game though.
Wouldn't say Jericho's good, but I hope you're not claiming that Jericho's on a level of Ric Flair.
Of like what? Like all timers? Like
popularity. More people are going to know.
Popularity wise, I mean, I don't know, man. Chris Jericho really like owned those mid 2000s, right?
Sure,
like,
but Ric Flair is pretty famous.
Yeah.
To
you, I don't know. Not to
see.
we could do this all night. I don't know. I'll ask her about the Undertaker. How about that? Well,
she'll probably know. I'm surprised she didn't know who Ric Flair was, and I think she probably didn't because Ric Flair spent most of his time in WCW.
I don't think it effing matters where the hell he wrestled.
Oh,
I really do not. I
gotta ask you this. There was I saw like a post where your wife said Zoe does a better job with the lawn than you.
I'm so sick and tired of this. I'm so sick of this. No, yeah, the kid. I put up a couple pictures today. The kid did a school project where they planted grass seeds, right, in a little cup, and let them germinate for a couple of weeks, and brought them home. And there's a picture of her in the cup, and it's in its hair, and she was really excited to bring that home and put it in the front windowsill and all that. And Megan's just busting my balls as usual about the grass because she loves to bust my balls about the grass. I'm not obsessed with the lawn, Dan. I'm taking ownership of the lawn.
Are
It's
you
looking good
that
though.
guy that's like, are you critical if other people in the neighborhood are not cutting their grass? Are you one of those guys?
No, no, because I went like 3 weeks without cutting it recently, and it got frickin'. It was like in Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World, where the raptors are in the long grass, and like it got long. But no, but I did almost drive off the road like a week or so ago because I was looking at somebody's lawn. I was like, oh, some guy was out mowing. I was like, oh, that's a really good fucking lawn.
You
You know,
are obsessed.
and I, I was like, whoa.
Oh
So
my.
I will celebrate a nice thick lush lawn, but I will not criticize. I will
Do
not
you do
criticize.
anything on this lawn? Do you take Zoe out? You play catch? Do you?
I don't know if I catch with her, but yeah, we go outside all the time. We go outside every
Yeah.
day, you know. But again, I mean, I explained it on Let Freedom Ring on one of my appearances there. When we bought the house last year, we got a new septic system put in the backyard, right? So a couple of months into owning the house, this all happened, and the entire backyard got completely torn out, along with most of the front because there was a path where they had to bring in excavators around the house and all that. So I started fresh with just a mud backyard and a mud front yard. And,
Oh,
I
so
mean,
that's more or less what this is about.
namaste. Thank you. Yes, I'm regrowing. Yes. So I reseeded the whole thing. Friend of the show, Corey Walker, came over, helped me out a little bit. He's giving me little tips here and there. So it's like I'm I'm bringing the phoenix. I'm letting the phoenix rise out of the ashes. I'm
Okay. So there's
regrowing
more.
this.
There's. Yeah, I think I remember you talking about. So there was a little bit more than you're
Yeah.
just that guy wearing Hawaiian shirts and
I mean, I am that guy too, but
yeah.
yeah, no, I want it to look nice because I am proud of the homestead here, and I'm proud. I'm trying to take ownership of that and provide the family with a nice lawn. And yeah, I
Are
want
you
it to
now?
look
Are you
good.
the only one that does this? Does Megan ever mow it?
Megan's tried to mow it like one time last year, but no, it's too much. It's a big yard. Again, I haven't had you over yet. I gotta have you over. It's a lot of yard. It's a lot of yard. I mean, her dad, her father-in-law lives with us, and the in-law, he went out once or twice last year, just to give it a quick mow, just to keep busy. But no, it's I take ownership of it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yep, yep, yep.
Okay. No. So
I'm not
it
obsessed. I'm not obsessed. All right,
I do other stuff, man.
I do. I take out the trash sometimes. But I'm
Yeah.
also, it's not just the lawn though. We've been planting flowers. Trying to make it look nice.
Okay.
Um,
How are
so
you? I gotta ask this though. Like, are we talking a crazy amount of raking in the fall?
Yeah, I mean, we raked and blew the leaves and stuff last year. Yeah, because we do have a FUCK ton of trees around the property too. So like it was just constant leaf fall and stuff last year, in the fall. So we definitely had to take care of a lot of leaves. But yeah, raking in the fall, it's called dethatching when you really get in there with a nice rake and get all the dead, grass out there and
Oh God.
get that all up. And then I aerated it this year, which is, you essentially just sort of try to turn up the soil and get some air under it. My parents for my birthday this year bought me these little like slip-on shoe things with like spikes.
We're talking.
I'm talking about the lawn, man. I'm talking
He
about
has a lawn
grass.
obsession. Well,
I'm not
he's he's doing his best to maintain it, but his wife is now in the comments here. I'm buying Scott a new pair of white and tube socks for Father's Day.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm a 10 and a
So
half. Let's go.
yeah. So you are morphing into that dad, and you're gonna be in your 40s soon. You're gonna have
Yeah,
New
it's
Balances on.
coming. I have New Balances right now. They're green. They're not all white. I got them at Kohl's for like $45.
You are entering that
I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Cool.
stereotypical dad.
I'm okay. I'm not stereotypical. Like, look at what I'm wearing. I'm not stereotypical. I'm a cool dad. I'm not like a regular dad. I'm a cool dad, you know? But,
That's
hey,
too funny.
God forbid I do something nice for the family.
Yeah,
Nothing but
yeah.
grief.
Well,
Nothing but grief.
and Megan's commenting from the Fenway Park. I'm assuming right now.
Yeah. I mean, unless the game's over and they're
Oh,
on
it's
their way home.
10:14. Yeah, it's probably on the
Yeah.
way home.
Oh, hold on. Let me pull up her.
You're not a cool dad. Oh my gosh. This is, on the drive home.
Who do you think you are? That is ridiculous. Yeah,
Pip
she
Sniper
stole.
said New
She
Balance
stole.
is my favorite sneakers. Tyson wore them.
Ooh, what happened to Mike Tyson? Huh? Like he had that medical scare or something.
Well, he's
Did you
about
see
to
that?
box again. He's about to box.
Yeah, I know something happened. Wait in line to
Oh,
get my
waiting in
card.
line.
Cry
Oh,
face.
this is why I don't go to Fenway Park. You could offer me free tickets, and I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna be like, nope, I'm going to Home and Stadium watching
No.
Silver Knights.
Yeah, like she I didn't really get too much info, but she said something about like she got parking again from her boss. The only times I've ever gone to Fenway, I've taken the T in. Like I'm not
Pimp My
effing around.
Sniper. Who? I wonder who that is. Maybe we know them.
I thought that was it's on YouTube, right? Isn't that what the little
Yeah, welcome to the
pimp my car, pimp my
I
maybe
can't
it's
see Megan's
exhibit.
comment. Weird. Oh, she's commenting from Facebook. So
Hmm.
you can see it on the screen. So yeah,
Maybe
it's those little
you
can see like the icons and the
maybe it's exhibit.
I like it. I
Right?
like it.
That
I
was
want
Pimp My Ride, right? Was that
Yeah,
exhibit?
yeah, I heard a lot of that show was fake.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this because I got pretty scared today. I'm not gonna lie, this freaked me out.
Well,
Have you ever heard of a reverse dog sneeze? It's like almost
like a
like
hiccup?
they're kind of snorting a little bit. This is kind of like Wyndham was making these weird sounds, and I thought I was gonna have, I thought I was gonna have a heart. I thought it was like, am I going to the vet again? And I thought he was like choking or whatever. I'm John Cena.
She's funny.
Have
I
you
love
ever?
you, Megan.
I didn't know what it was. I messaged my coworkers because it was like all the.
I feel like that sounds familiar, kinda. Like a
And
like one of
he
those.
was like doing that, and I
Really?
was like,
Huh.
Wyndham, what's going on? And then he looked kind of shocked by it, and then my anxiety
It's
is
almost like a
probably
hiccup,
revving.
kinda? Like a
No, it was like a wheezing almost. It was
huh.
um not as big, but I would watch a good boxing match. I'll definitely watch the thing on Netflix for sure.
Yeah.
But
Boxing.
Rocky's one of my favorite movies ever.
Rocky 3 is one of mine. No, Rocky 4, sorry.
I would love to get, and I watched a thing on the UFC too, where, McCain was a big boxing guy and he was like waging
John
war.
McCain?
John McCain, yeah, big fan of it.
This is random.
He was waging war to they wanted to shut down the UFC because the UFC was going to cut into to boxing's business. And I'd have to assume at this point, it really has.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of boxing, I just don't see a lot of it. It's always
feel like
Jake
it's
Paul,
not
who's not even a real
yeah.
boxer.
It was always, HBO and big pay-per-view stuff back in the day. I feel like it wasn't like available
It was
to
pay-per-view.
us, Like
I think you
wasn't
could
all,
watch
I mean all the
some.
big ones are I don't know.
I remember
Like,
though when I was a
Lennox
kid, it was always a big deal when Tyson was going to fight, and then it was Lennox. Then it went to Lennox Lewis. I think they fought at one point. But I just remember when Peter McNeil is like, and on Saturday night, I'm going to kick Mike Tyson's ass. And I was like, no, you're not.
No, I don't
Tyson was
that.
fresh out of prison.
Yeah. I know. Yep. Okay. Yep.
That was
no.
And then I remember I wanted to order Holyfield versus Tyson 2 when he bit the ear in '97, and my parents said no, you can order wrestling, you're not ordering boxing. And then I was watching ESPN.
Really?
Yes. Oh yeah, I was watching ESPN, and they came on and they're like, breaking news: Mike Tyson has bit Evander Holyfield's ear.
Really
They
did
stopped the
chomp
fight.
his ear, huh?
You know.
Weird times.
Mills Lane was the referee, and then he became the referee on Celebrity Deathmatch, the claymation show.
Yeah, that was good TV, man. That
Yeah.
was good stuff.
Dude,
I
the,
love
the
that.
90s, the 90s were good. The 90s were a good
They were.
time. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, he freaked me out. I was nervous. I was definitely nervous.
yeah.
About
Hmm. He's
that.
okay though. He's good.
He seems fine. We went to the field.
Yeah.
He sat, watched the game.
Was it
He
just like a
went.
one timer, or was it like a?
No, it was going on for like a solid minute. So
Oh,
I
all right.
started freaking out, and I've already been going to the vet a lot, and I think I'm an overprotective dog dad. Anything he does, makes me nervous.
I wouldn't say overprotective. That's not the right word. I feel
You
like you're
lads make a Fury and
stress.
oh, what do you lads think of Fury and Joshua? I know Fury, Tyson Fury.
Joshua Tree. I don't know who Joshua
I
is.
know I don't know much about it. I know Fury is he's even come to WWE before. Um,
That's right. I did. Yeah.
yeah,
He was front row a couple
he
of
seems
times.
like
Yeah.
a character,
Yeah.
which I think that's what like boxing, and I know it's real fights, but like UFC makes these guys into like characters, right? They
Right. Yeah.
give them mic
Yeah.
and say something crazy. I don't know if boxing has that anymore. Like Tyson was
No.
definitely a character, you know.
Mayfield.
But
I mean, money. I mean, you
Mayweather.
know, Mayweather.
Uh,
Mayweather. Say Mayfield. Yeah.
I
Manny
don't think there's
Pacquiao. Right. He's gone now.
yeah,
Right.
but I
Like.
don't think
Yeah.
there was a star in boxing like Mike Tyson.
No.
I mean,
Muhammad Ali. Right.
well, yeah, but like Tyson, like knocking these people out. He was like knocking people out like they were like
The stuff that
execution.
he used to say, like.
I'll eat your children.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah. That
like,
was.
I'm out till you love me. I remember
Yeah.
that. Like
Yeah.
Mike was going off the deep end for a couple of years there.
He's still doing it. He was saying, did you see what he said about Jake Paul like
No.
2 weeks ago? How like some of his YouTube videos to give him erections, like right? Jesus.
How the hell are you struggling with Fury and Joshua?
Well, I guess we're not boxing guys there,
Yeah.
mystery
Yeah.
commenter.
I'm
I
just
don't
not
know.
I mean I don't follow, boxing extensively or anything like that.
Yeah, I can't say that I
But
do.
can't yeah.
Yep.
Fair enough. We're not boxing
Fair
guys.
enough.
I don't even pretend to be one on
He
TV,
not to be.
you know. But yeah, back in the day, man, I definitely Tyson was interesting there. But all
Yep.
right, let's get into best week ever
Mm-hmm.
here. And let's see here. Where did it go? All right.
There she blows. Yep.
Scott, who to you is having
We had a little sneak peek of this discussion earlier, but I feel like
I
it's
would
gonna
football and rugby would be baseball too, but I don't follow extensively anymore. But
football. I'm an American football guy.
and when I say rugby, I'm
Right?
talking MLR. Like I don't follow extensively everything that goes on in Europe, but yeah. But
Yeah.
yes, best week ever.
Mhm. I mean, how is it not anybody that is just an anti-Trump supporter? I mean, ever since there it is. I mean, the people that sway to the left have just got to be absolutely on top of the world. Is that Keenan Mitchell in the background there? No, it's not.
I don't
It
think
looks like
so.
Keenan a little bit, but yeah, like they just got to be. I mean, granted, it's been what 24 hours, give or take, but they got to be having the best last few hours of their lives. Whether or not it means anything really at the end of the day, but just sticking it to them.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of later. Like if this would have happened
Yeah.
4 years ago, I didn't see many people on social media really even talking about it. Like I saw a few.
Oh, I saw all
Um,
sorts of posts. Yeah, just
are you Trump or dementia Biden?
oh,
Neither
you
really.
you must not be a fan of the show, my friend, because
Yeah, yeah,
we don't really
definitely.
care either way
We
nowadays.
just comment on the gatherings of what goes on in society.
Right?
We're not really overly impressed with either of them,
Yeah.
to be honest. Um, you had the anti-Trump crowd. I just think the stuff with De Niro this week has been pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
De Niro he was getting in the face of people and stuff, and I think he was really just celebrating. I don't know. Like he hates Donald Trump. Like he
Yeah.
really does.
Remember a few years ago, there was some video of him just trash talking him. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. Obviously, and there's reasons, to dislike. There's a lot, right? There's a
Mhm.
lot of reasons to
Sure.
dislike Donald Trump.
Mhm.
But yeah, De Niro. Were there any wars under Trump? I don't. Yeah,
I mean,
there's stuff going on. I don't. Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I don't know what that impacts
It's
or not.
COVID.
But
That was a thing. It was a war on my
yeah,
my ability to go outside. That was rough. But
that to be honest though, like 9/11 and
Mm.
COVID are like the two wildest things I think we lived through.
yeah, for sure, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into Crumb Bum of the week here. Cue it up here.
Nailed it.
Where
You don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum. Put that on camera. You're a creep.
all right, Scott.
Yeah. So this guy, I had to dig deep. Our new friend on the web here. I don't know. Did he? I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I think
stopped caring.
Biden was the one that pulled them out.
This gentleman might know more about this guy. I had to also check in with a friend of the show, Corey Walker, because he's a big UFC guy. So I had to get a little bit of background on him from Walker. Yeah, the Sean Strickland guy. You hadn't seen this until I mentioned it to you, right?
He's talking about Tom Brady.
Yeah, you don't
Jeez.
badmouth Tom Brady. Like you just don't. You do that, you're an automatic crumb bum to me. He was talking about his reaction to the roast and all that, but he's also getting his information wrong because he was saying that Tom was telling him to to stop talking about his wife, which wasn't the case. He said to stop talking about Robert Kraft. But he was also like, did you see that clip that I sent you?
I did not, because my phone's been weird today.
Ah, jeez, yeah, no, he was saying like Tom was acting like a girl and like some derogatory homosexual type terms and all that.
This
like,
is what he's known for, though.
that's what Corey was saying. That's what Corey
Yeah.
was saying, that he sort of does that. He's sort of
Argumentative with everybody.
yeah, and Corey Walker was also saying that I guess he's got a fight this weekend. So he does this a lot of times, before upcoming fights to get some clicks, if you know what I'm saying.
I mean, that's like kind of what the UFC does. They have these characters, right?
Right.
And I would, I think Dana White says, yeah, say what you want to say, because either you're going to get people that like it or people that hate it, and the people that like it want to see you win. The people that don't want to see you get your butt kicked.
But
that's pro wrestling, really.
Right. At the end of the day, you don't come after Tom Brady, like in a real setting like that. So automatic crumb bum for me.
That's very just.
You don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum. Put that on camera. You're a creep.
All right. I'm throwing out somebody who's already on the Mount Rushmore of crumb bums.
Oh.
Because he's having another week. We all know I like AEW. I want it to succeed, but I just can't get down with Tony Khan.
You're going back to old broccoli head here,
He just, again, and now people are saying it may not be true. It's not. He is not putting on a great show, and now he's mad about the deal that they've offered to renew AEW Dynamite for TNT. And it's like all these people have kind of said like what he needs to do, and he just doesn't do it. And the other thing too is, if Darby Allin just got hit by a car, broke his foot, why is he being put into I forget what the match was, but he's coming out with like a flamethrower and all this.
Well, that kid's a little out there, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid's nuts. Yeah.
He set Jack Perry on fire in the match or whatever. I just think that it just, the frustration of what is this show supposed to be?
Yep.
and the continuation of Tony Khan just not willing to listen to anybody.
Yeah,
It's just we're very happy that he's made the company,
sure.
but it's crumb bum. And to complain about, um I think this is Mike DiStefano, honestly. That's commenting there. He's a big Trump supporter.
A mystery
but,
comment there.
Tim
Well, I saw
Mike-
your boy MJF came back and put out a hell of
Yes.
a promo, huh? Like
I love that. But
and,
you know what was weird?
let me just toss something out here real quick. Did they make him look like Wolverine on purpose? Because I got that
have no
immediately.
idea.
Thought like his hair is sort of like spiked like Wolverine, and he did like a like Hugh Jackman does. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks a little Wolverine-y to me. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta say about that.
he came out in the same type of jacket that Triple H came out in when he
I saw that
came
on
back
the
in
web. I didn't really
2002.
understand what that meant, but I saw that. Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of why are we throwing homage to
Homage, yeah.
or
are they just trying to revamp his character and cut out the whole prissy?
We're talking about all elite wrestling, MJF. That can't be Mike because the lads thing that seems like that's like a European thing.
That's straight out of England, there, right?
It's like an English thing to say.
I want to know what this lad is talking about. Where are you from, lad, sir? What if he's
Are you
from
from the
England? I mean,
UK?
what time is it now? What time is it now? It's got to be like, what is this dude watching us at like 4 a.m. over there? Like that doesn't seem right.
I don't know. I'm curious. It could be.
Right. Hey, fan of the show.
We appreciate the support.
Sign him up. I love it.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, I've heard people say lads. It's not like frequent in the United States. Oh, okay. This makes perfect sense. Oh, okay. Well, we appreciate.
What time is it over there?
Yeah, what time is it there?
Yeah, like is it tea time yet? Like you drinking? Like how does that work?
No, that's pretty cool.
Like how do you feel about King Charles?
Who's the prime minister right now there? It's 3
a.m.
a.m. Oh,
3
no.
a.m. Big Matchbox 20 fan too.
Yeah,
That's what it
3:30
sounds
a.m.
like, oh.
No, thanks for tuning in.
Hey man, we're on every Friday night or
every other
Saturday
Friday
morning, every other Saturday morning for you. It would be about 2 a.m. your time.
Yeah, come in and tune in with us.
We're taking it international, baby.
Yeah,
taking it international.
If you want to throw something that we're not saying we're going to be the show's not about being experts on anything. But if you want to throw something in the comments sometime you want us to talk about,
my favorite
we'll do our
thing about
best.
England.
I didn't know that they like Trump in England though. That's kind of it's a Trump supporter.
I don't know anything about England. No.
Well, I don't know. I guess I don't know what they're.
Jack the Ripper. I know that.
We appreciate the support. Thank you. Yeah, and you tune in anytime you want. This has been a lot of fun.
Jolly old fan.
But yeah, what a week it's been. I think. What do you? Any final thoughts today, Scott?
Let's hope that the grass keeps growing. We had some good rain.
It's always the Hardy. Okay, we can talk about the Hardy Boys for sure.
Big Hardy Boys fan.
We will
like
throw
is
that
Jeff?
on the agenda.
I think I saw a post like Jeff Hardy's contract's up or something.
It sounds like his is up because he came in a little after Matt Hardy in AEW.
Would you want them to like? I feel like I've said it before. Like that WrestleMania moment when they came back a few years back.
That you can't talk.
That was like my biggest, most.
We were jumping out. We were marking out. We were freaking out. We couldn't believe it.
Like if they show up again.
Yeah, Swans. Yeah, I mean,
would you want to see the Hardy Boys come back?
I just think that they're like they're. I'd like to see their retirement match in WWE.
Yeah.
If they're gonna have their final match, I think that's like the appropriate place.
Edge and Christian would have to come back though too. Like, and that's not gonna happen, right?
No, I wouldn't say that. They're not signed forever. I mean, people have wrestled older. I think Christian. I don't think Christian's gonna be done for like a little while, because if you look at like the hottest stuff in AEW, Christian's like top of the list with the patriarchy.
Yeah.
And
whatever happened with just real quick, Luchasaurus there? They changed his name. Did they take the
Kill-
mask off? Is he
He's still wearing the mask. He's Kill Switch. No one's
right?
really
Okay.
sure why or how. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
Christian
yeah, yeah.
accidentally called him that on TV, and they just
Just
ran
went with it. Yeah.
Um,
Okay, I'll give it to him then.
there has to come a time where Kill Switch or Luchasaurus has to turn on Christian. I would assume at
Right,
some
he's got to
point.
take the mask off, a la Kane. You would
Yeah.
think, right? Or Abyss. Does Abyss still around?
Abyss is a producer for WWE.
Good to know.
Never wrestled there, but he works behind the scenes. He
Right.
produces a lot of the
Like,
matches.
what was he? TNA? Was that what that was?
TNA,
Impact?
yeah,
I don't know how any of that works. Yeah.
he was like their answer to Kane, but
Right.
he was
Like
pretty.
a Kane
I put,
Mankind combo.
yeah, I put Abyss high up on like the Mount Rushmore of TNA stars.
Oh, really? Wow.
Put him
Okay.
pretty high up there. He was there. I mean, AJ Styles is probably one. I don't think there's anybody
Samoa Joe?
that could be. Samoa Joe would probably be on there too.
Kurt,
That's
Kurt
actually,
Angle, right? Right? Is that what they call him?
I think I
He
would
was all
take
drugged
Kurt.
out. Yeah.
I would think I would take Kurt off,
Sure.
even though he was in TNA longer than WWE. But I think
Chris
he's
Daniels?
synonymous. Edge versus
Mm.
yes, though they had
Oh, that'd be
some of the
fantastic.
best
Yeah,
best
that's not gonna happen,
matches.
though, right? Yeah.
WrestleMania 2000,
Give me a TLC all day
SummerSlam,
long,
then
yeah.
TLC
Yeah.
2 at WrestleMania 17. To me, the Dudleys are the greatest tag team of all time in my book.
Really?
Yeah, I would have them.
Huh.
Well,
New Age Outlaws.
I wouldn't put them in the top.
No,
They were good.
Oh, you didn't know?
But those are three of the best ever. But Edge and Christian, obviously great on their own.
Mm,
Hardy Boys, great on their own. Dudley's
never
Bully
mind.
Ray was great in
Yeah.
TNA, but then he never had that like singles run
Yeah.
in WWF, or
Yep.
WWE, I should say.
Mm.
And I put Legion of Doom in the category of
Okay.
all-time greatest of all time.
Good to know.
When I was a kid, I was totally blown away by that fight. Absolutely, it was. You know, they really brought in the tables and ladders in TLC, right?
Yeah,
like that.
sure.
That was the mix of everything. That
Yep.
first time they did it at WrestleMania, the 2000. I know it wasn't TLC yet, but I remember watching that match, and that stole the show because like WrestleMania 2000, like you call it WrestleMania 16, was not like the best. I had it at my mate's house to watch. Oh yeah, VHS days. We had a lot of
There
those.
it is. There it is. Yeah.
But no, Pin My Sniper, we really appreciate you tuning in. Tune in with us in 2 weeks if you're up. But
we're gonna find you. We're gonna find you.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. So we appreciate the support. So everybody out there, anything else you want to say, Scott?
Oh man, let's rock and roll. Go Celts.
Go Celtics.
Go Celts. Yeah.
Get Banner 18. Wait, can't say that, follow it as much as I used to, but I'm always going to bleed green.
We'll try.
So, but everybody out there, have a good week. Have a great weekend. Until next time, let freedom ring.